has indicated that he will be yielding his 5 minutes to Congressman Burgess.
Thank you, Chairwoman Maloney, and Chairwoman Romer. Welcome to our committee once again. I appreciate, as always, your ability to share your time with us. So we've got another month, another set of facts and figures telling the American people what they already know, that the stimulus isn't working. Recent polling out suggests that fully 60% of the American people do not believe that the stimulus has worked. So it begs the question that is asked over and over again, and a question which I will ask you today. Chairwoman Romer, where are the jobs? Companies aren't hiring at rates anywhere near where this administration claimed they would be, and indeed anywhere near that is required simply to maintain a level state of employment, let alone gain jobs in this economy. Business and individuals who have the same outlook when it comes to the president, what's it going to do, what is he going to do next that may make it harder for us to move forward? We hear a lot of talk about rooting for the home team. I wish the White House sometimes would root for the home team. An ill-advised and scientifically suspect drilling moratorium that is already seeing jobs shipped overseas as rigs pull up anchor and sail to foreign ports, looming EPA regulations on emissions that will have consumers seeing their energy bills skyrocket, financial regulatory reforms that will take years to implement, causing uncertainty in an already fragile market and leading banks to be able to loan less and less money, and really which do nothing to prevent a future financial meltdown, because after all, the two biggest problems remain on the federal ledger in the form of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. People not knowing what the future holds from this administration makes it very, very difficult for them to invest their capital. I asked Secretary Salazar in a letter whether the administration had done any economic analysis of what the drilling moratorium would do to job outlook in the Gulf region. To date, no response. I can only assume that this has not been done, or that the administration would know, as the New Orleans Times-Picayune reported, that each job in energy exploration supports an additional 4 jobs providing supplies and services. What a deal. You can kill 5 jobs for the price of 1. Now that's a statistic that the White House does not want us to hear. Sound economies need stability, and this president has provided anything but. He can claim to be pro-business all he wants, but continued talk of card check and other pro-unionizing regulations, businesses know they can't afford to take risks right now. Congressional Democrats even inserted a provision in the war supplemental essentially forcing state and local fire police departments to unionize, regardless of whether the workers in those departments have expressed any interest in that activity. Actions speak louder than words. And the actions of this administration indicate one thing: this president and the people that he has put in place throughout the government have yet to see a rule or regulation that they aren't in favor of passing, and each rule or regulation adds to the cost, adds to the price of doing business, and each rule or regulation makes it less likely that especially small and medium-sized businesses are going to add a new job. The Business Roundtable recently sent a report to the White House, a report of exactly what this president's policies are doing to businesses around the country. In a letter to Peter Orszag, Ivan Seidenberg, CEO of Verizon, James Owen, CEO of Caterpillar, said business leaders are increasingly concerned that political expediencies of the short term harm our ability to partner with government and create policies that foster growth. The CEO of J.P. Morgan told the White House punishing whole industries, whether they were reckless or not, just isn't the way to do things. The CEO of Nucor Corporation told the Wall Street Journal, there's this common concern that we're not doing things right yet, and it's showing up in the jobs numbers. One reason this administration is so likely disconnected with the reality of what life is like in the private sector is so few of the president's top advisors have ever worked in the real world. It's difficult to find someone who's run a lemonade stand or held a paper route. Professors and academics, people who spent the bulk of their careers in government, that's who we have dictating to the private sector how CEOs should be running their business. And that is a large part why business overwhelmingly resents and rejects the mandates being thrown at them by the administration and this Congress. Maybe if the president started hiring more CEOs in his cabinet, like past presidents of both parties, as they've done for decades, he would start getting the kind of advice he needs to allow the private sector to recover and grow. It is further dismaying that the Council of Economic Advisors' latest economic impact report admits that any analysis of job creation in each state in this report is, and I quote, speculative and uncertain, close quote. After spending hundreds of billions of dollars to stimulate the economy, a year and a half later, we can still only speculate on job growth. There either have or have not been jobs created by the stimulus. I don't need to speculate. All I have to do is look at the unemployment numbers that have been so stagnant under this president. The stimulus was a failure. I don't have to speculate about that. President Obama's philosophy in steering this economy seems to be taken directly out of Alice in Wonderland. When I use a word, it means just what I choose it to mean, neither more nor less. And furthermore, if you don't care where you end up, it doesn't really matter which road you take. I'll yield back the balance of my time.